Got this.
Oh,
there you go.
The stomach shade.
Oh, is this? She brought him out the bag though. This what
there
y'all
you
do?
Go. Not the hair flick. Y'all not ready.
Period.
I'm about to mute myself.
Fatty, can we give India a beat?
How do people die without saying goodbye? How do people die without saying goodbye? My whole life, I never would have thought of this. Sitting here thinking about how my story ends.
Waiting on his son to come back from school. Also, he was waiting on his wife to bring him a charger. Next thing you know, the police show up. They tell him to put down a weapon, but there's no weapon. Next thing you know, 3 shots go off. He didn't know he'll lose his life that night. It's like he lost all his rights that night.
Blacks going through the struggle, other races can't relate. They feel our pain, can't see the things, that's what we hate. Protest because they erase us. We don't have the time for what they make of us. Trump saying he want to protect the U.S., all he really want to do is make a mess.
So, my title is called We Are Not the Bad Guys, You Are. Ooh. We are neglected, disrespected, and murdered based off of race and not by characteristics. Then you wonder why we act this way. You wanna know why? Because we got it from you. We marched in these streets for freedom and injustice for years because during the 1950s, our businesses were being burnt down by white racist people.
I find it crazy that 88% of lawyers are Caucasian and only 4.8% are African American. It's crazy how only 5% of doctors are African American. I find it crazy that out of 44 presidents, there was only 1 that was Black.
Some ways of preventing human trafficking is to avoid traveling alone in the night or deserted side streets. I would advise you to educate yourself on human trafficking. Recognize signs and always report suspicions. Some signs that can tell you someone is being human trafficked is they appear to be malnourished, they avoid eye contact, social interaction, and authority figures / law enforcement.
I never felt this way, felt this love, or even experienced this pain until I got the call that day. I felt scared, but I knew deep down, I just knew when I saw your face, you were going to be okay. But when I saw my brother's face, I knew you wasn't. As I began to look at you, I realized my best friend, my love, my everything left me internally.
I hate that my skin color is a weapon and whites come with so much aggression. But the thing I learned about my people is that we're fighters. We made it through slavery and segregation and we're striving for something higher. When they took us from our land, we were helpless and scared. But when it came time to stand up to the white man, he looked like who dared. They come from kings and dukes with rags and riches. I come from the gutter, from rags to riches.
I want a love that not only makes me happy, but shines bright through my darkest hours. I want a love so absorbent that we love each other even when we can't stand each other. A love where God is the center of our relationship. I want a love so consuming we change the world.
Coping with anxiety, I drew a lot because I'm not good with words. Drawing really helped me. Writing a journal, I had hard times with. I would just write one word that I was feeling, and even just one word would help, even though I thought journalizing didn't help at times. Other ways I cope with my anxiety attacks would be taking deep breaths. Deep breathing can help with your anxiety, and doing this will calm your nerves. Also, lavender is a good source for calming your nerves.
There was days where I was told to put a smile and be happy even though I wasn't. I started a new routine of waking up, going to different therapy classes, completing my schoolwork, and going to counseling sessions. Even though the psych ward felt like a prison at times, it got me through my depression, anxiety, and PTSD. I learned that death wasn't the answer. If I died, my family would be so heartbroken, especially my mom. I'm the only piece of my father that's still living. I should have been gone, and it's because of God's grace that I'm still alive. I have a purpose in life, but not just any purpose. I'm fulfilling God's purpose. I'm fulfilling God's plans and what He has in store for me. The end.
You gonna learn today. Didn't I just say don't be making nobody cry? Huh?
What?
Didn't I just tell you don't be making no grown men cry on the thing?